Go.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Smith, and this is my 80s interview.
Okay. The first question is, what kind of music was popular in the 80s?
Well, rock and roll was popular. Rap started to become a thing in the 80s, and it was there was less swearing in it then, but it was still very controversial. Grunge rock was a big deal in the 80s.
Grunge rock.
Like, what was it? Tell me, what was that group again? REM and Kurt Cobain and what was it? I forget. Music isn't my thing, but.
Okay. How was technology?
So they just started to have cordless phones in your house. Like back when I was a little kid, you had the phone that was on the cord and you had to like dial the numbers and everything. But then when I was in high school, we had a cordless phone, which we thought was like the coolest thing ever. And like a remote control, coolest thing ever. Because you could stay on the couch instead of having to get up and actually turn the channels. There started to be car phones, but they were like in a bag and you plugged them into the car. Car phones, yes, that was in the 80s and 90s, like late 80s and early 90s were car phones.
What was
and we also had computers, but nothing like this. And really all they were was basically like a typewriter that just saved your stuff for you. It didn't like do anything. There was zero internet, nothing. Sorry, go ahead.
What was popular in society?
Big hair. Being preppy, there was like a preppy thing. That was like a fashion trend, was the preppy handbook thing. There was also aerobics and dressing like you were doing aerobics with like ripped sweatshirts and really like neon clothing. The 80s was a very interesting time. Yes.
Okay. What were some major events that happened?
That's a great question. I wish you would give me these questions ahead of time. I mean, I know there was some stuff happening, but because I was mostly a teenager, I didn't pay as close attention as I would have as a grown-up person. Was Chernobyl in the 80s? Yeah. So there was, and Three Mile Island was in the 70s, I think. Berlin Wall came down. You know, some stuff happened in Russia. And Ronald Reagan was president most of the time that I was in like high school and stuff. It was a pretty tame relative time. The Iran, that was in the 70s too. It all runs together for me. Michael Jackson was big in the 80s for sure. Yeah, that's another music thing that was pretty big in the 80s, but what else you got?
Michaela Ridenauer, Julie Inquirer, please report to the office. Michaela Ridenauer, Julie Inquirer to the office, please.
I'll cut that out.
Okay.
You can cut out most of it.
Yeah.
Was there less crimes in the 80s compared to now?
It seemed like there was, but I don't know if that's how accurate that is. Again, I was a teenager living in my house, going to school, and not paying attention a whole lot to what was going on in the outside world too much. So I didn't notice that there was a whole lot of crime. I mean, bad things did happen, and I did hear about them. Oh, you know what else happened in the 80s was the Challenger explosion. That was a big deal when I was in high school. I remember, like, I was standing next to my locker in the hallway with my friends when I heard about it. Yes, because there was a school teacher. Yes, there was a school teacher as an astronaut on that. So anyway, I wouldn't say that I mean, I think there probably is a little bit more crime today, but I only think that's because there's more people.
Okay. How was school back then?
School was good. It's a little bit different because we didn't have computers. I mean, when we watched a video, they had a video film thing set up in the room, and like I actually have some like old film casing still in there because I haven't cleaned that out yet from whoever was here before me. So it's not like you could just pop and we used the textbooks a lot. We did have a lot of homework. I think that it seemed to me there weren't as many, like, kids were more respectful to teachers back then. There were still some kids that weren't, but like, I don't remember too many kids misbehaving in my classes, you know what I mean? But again, that could just be because of what classes I was in, I don't know. But teachers did a lot of talking, and we did a lot of note taking and listening, but I don't think it's not, the basics are the same, it's just how you get the information is different.
Okay.
Were things cheaper back then?
Oh yeah. Yes, they were.